So how many inspectors are there for the municipality?
5 electrical. I think there's about 6 plumbing mechanical inspectors and at least 6 structural inspectors. And I think they're still shorthanded.
Huh.
But, you know, the way the economy is going, who knows what shorthanded is anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving my number on here, my cell number. And this is my boss, Victor's the lead electrical inspector.
Okay.
And that's his desk number. I'll be off Monday. And if you have any questions and it turns out I'm gone, go to Victor. And,
okay.
So I'll leave you with that.
So when we're
I'll
ready,
type it up and send you an email too.
when we're ready, we just call again and hopefully get you.
We can look at the corrections to the rough-in inspection first, and then do the service separately, or you can do the service by itself.
Okay.
And
probably suggest doing the service by itself.
that would make it easier because there's some things that are gonna obviously get abandoned in the wall when the new one gets turned on.
Okay.
And that means, like I said, scheduling with the utility and figuring out what day it's going to happen. You can, because you're still using the old service. So this panel must still be hot, huh?
Yeah, I think so because
And it's
I think
still supplying a couple of circuits only.
Yeah.
So he really could have everything done with the new service, and it'd go really quick. And on the back page is the list of things that have to be done for the service: the raceway, the number 4 ground. We have to have 2 ground rods. We could wait till final on those. You've got 1. The old houses were always built with 1. The new code requires 2. The second ground rod we could look at on final. Maybe the ground will be thawed out by then.
Okay.
We're not, a month or 2 away from that. And then there's another thing called inter-system bonding. Your phone and cable company needs to ground to the same grounding electrode system, and there's a requirement for a set of terminals near the service. And they're called inter-system bonding terminals. You can Google it, the hardware stores should know what you're talking about, the electrical stores. And you can actually use the wire that goes to the ground rods to connect that into the service.
Oh, okay.
So those are the things that need to be done first, and so what would happen is first thing in the morning, utility would come out, turn it off. We'd come out, re-inspect the new stuff, tag it. Utility comes back and turns it back on.
Okay. But we probably need you back.
Well, he could
at first.
He could do all of that and call for the rough-in inspection, and we could make sure it's going to pass. And so the electrical, the service inspection still needs to be a separate one because we need to turn off the old one before we tag the new one.
Okay.
But he could get all that work done, and in the course of the rough-in inspection, we could look and see if it's done right, if something has to change, so that you don't have a problem with the power off. You know, sometimes if the power's off and something's not right, you got to work in the dark to try to fix it before we green tag it.
Okay.
So probably try to get everything done, call for rough-in inspection, and we could do the service separately.
And you're the rough-in guy, right? Rough-in inspection guy.
Well, it's going to be an electrical inspection.
Yeah.
I don't normally do this area. Oliver does.
Oh.
Do it,
So you're slumming it this week.
Yeah, something like that. Didn't want to offend anybody, but... Okay.
All righty. Well, thank you.
I'll send an email too. The list that you started.
Oh, that was yours? I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
I was using it to write on.
We're trying to get away from paper, but paperwork's so good.
Well, pretty soon you won't have to worry about paperwork.
Pretty soon I'll have